All right. Hey everyone, welcome to Intro to Prototyping and UI Design with Figma. It's going to be an awesome workshop. Going to go over the basics of Figma for a little bit and then just go straight into creating your own personal website screen with Figma. So before we get started, can everyone just type in the chat what your favorite food is just for a little icebreaker? For example, I'm going to open up the chat and see. Just say like pizza or just like whatever comes to mind with your favorite food. Let's see. Spaghetti. Ooh. Ice cream. Apple pie. I'm gonna say pizza. Wow, really nice variety. So that's awesome. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna get to introduce myself a little bit before we get started. So I'm Skyler. I'm a computer science student, and I formerly interned at Microsoft this summer for their new technologist program. Highly recommend checking it out if you're an underclassman in college. I can send the links for that later. And then intern at Bitly as a software engineer intern in January. And right now I'm making YouTube videos on my journey through design and tech. So you can check out my YouTube channel there. I'll send all links towards the end. And today we're going to be doing a little interactive workshop on Figma. So basically Figma is this design tool where you can do a whole range of things. So whether you want to design a logo, brand identity, or you want to create a mobile or web app, or you want to create a pitch deck for any project like this one. Well, this one was created in Canva, but you can also create it in Figma as well. Figma is a really versatile tool that you can use to really create anything that you can think of. So basically, I'm just going to recommend some resources to get started. I made this document that I will send in the chat. And basically, you can go into this document and it'll have resources where you can find like a color palette, tutorials, cheat sheets, and stuff like that. So here's the link, and everyone can click onto this document. And essentially, it has like different resources on how to learn the basics of UI design. In this workshop, we're going to be learning it, but if you want to go and explore ahead more, you can feel free to go on here as well. Like color palette inspirations here, the slide deck for this workshop is here, and then also some like design inspiration. This is like my favorite platform, Dribble, where you can just type in like any design. Let's just say like you're designing a finance app, you can type in the finance app here and it gives like different designs. And then you also have some YouTube channels for different tutorials, just like my contact information there. But yeah, that's basically the resources for design. And now we're going to jump in, so ignore that. But basically what we're all going to do is we're going to collaborate on this one file. So what I'm going to do is going to have you guys first make an account on Figma. So let me send this in the chat. Hold on, chat's working. So first, if you haven't already, sign up and create a free account on figma.com. And once you're done with doing that, you're going to go onto this link, and this is the Figma file itself that we're going to go on. So the first link, figma.com, creates a free account on that if you haven't already, and then hop onto this link, and you should see this like file right here. I'm just going to do a new share the screen right here. So once we have more people on this, okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, I see. So 2 people on here. And if there's
Skyler, do you think you can share the links once again in the chat because more people are joining?
yeah, sounds good. So the first thing you want to do is if you haven't already, create a free account on Figma. And you can also, once you're done creating a free account on Figma, which is the design prototyping tool, head onto this file, and this file is where we'll be designing everything. I'm not sure who is an honest account, but make sure to log into your own account so that you can see like and save these designs like later on. But we have about 3 people here, so maybe we can wait like a minute or two. But while we're waiting for more people to sign into everything, essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a personal website screen. So basically just this first screen right here. And just for like inspiration of what the capabilities of Figma are, I've personally created my personal websites using Figma and then turned it into code, I can send a YouTube video for that later on. But today you're going to make something like this. And essentially, the first thing that we're going to do, we have 3 people on. Let's see, is there anyone who else who needs like more time to get their Figma account? Let's see. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is feel free to take any chunk of like white space that says full name and make sure it's like your own and no one else is on it. And what you're going to do is you're going to like triple click onto the full name and it should highlight it in blue and you're just going to type your full name so that this is like the space underneath that full name is the place where you're going to be designing. So just make sure you take your own and replace it with your full name. Okay, perfect. Awesome, awesome. And now we're going to start by creating the frame that we'll need to design the actual website itself. So what you're going to do is on the top left of Figma, there should be like this checkerboard looking thing with 2 lines, 2 vertical lines, 2 horizontal lines, right? You click on that, that's a frame. And then you click the frame drop down right underneath. And then on the right-hand side of Figma, there's going to be this section with like all the different types of frames. And you're going to want to click on desktop. And then let's just say MacBook Pro 14-inch for this one. And then you should see a frame. In order to drag it around, you just have to click the left-hand side and just drag it around and make sure to drag it underneath your name. So just to repeat that again, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the top left-hand side of Figma and then click on frame and then go to the right-hand side where it says all the frames and you go to desktop and then you're going to go to MacBook Pro 14-inch and then just place your MacBook Pro 14-inch right underneath your name. So let's just see. I'm just going to make sure everyone's good with that. Does anyone else need help? And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put it on the chat and stuff. I'm happy to help out. All right, awesome. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start by placing our first piece of text. So in order to do this, make sure you're like clicking on your frame to make sure that like the frame is selected. It's going to be all in blue outline with the 4 squares on the corners. And you're going to click on a MacBook Pro, just like on the left side, right? And you're going to go to the text on the top left side of Figma, which should say the T. You click on that. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold anywhere on that frame and then drag it out. So that's your text box right there. And it might look pretty big at first, but we're going to fix that a bit later. But we're first going to type a word that just says home. So it might look a bit big. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go click on home itself and then expand it by holding and dragging the right-hand side and expanding it like that. So yeah, it might look pretty big for some people, but it's what it should be. And then what you can do is you can like move the lines in this like blue box just to make sure that it's over the text so that you have like a full text right there. So if anyone needs that repeated, feel free to let me know in the chat. But now you want to decrease the size of this text. So in order to do that is like you highlight it like the same thing we did before. And on the right-hand side of Figma, what you're going to do is you're going to see where it says text in this section on the right-hand side. It should say like something like 290 if it's like really big. What you can do is now change it to a different size. So you can go here, click on the arrow within this text, and you can scroll down to change the size. So you can change it to 20. For me, I'm going to change it to, let's just say like 32. And then just kind of dragging in the selection box so it's not too big, like unnecessarily. But yeah, let's see how everyone is doing with that. Is everyone decreasing the size of their home box? Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so now that you're done with that, the next thing that you're going to do is we're going to start duplicating this so we have multiple tabs at the top. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're selecting the home, and we're going to basically just do Command D in order to duplicate it if you're on a Mac. And then if you're on a Windows, you might do Control D, but I'm not exactly sure. Or you could do like copy and paste. So like Command C, Command V. But for me, I'm gonna do Command D, and then this will be duplicated. So all you have to do is hold and drag it over. And you're gonna do the same thing for the 2 more times. So I'll do Command D, hold and drag, or it should already pop up. Command D, hold and drag. And then you should have 4 homes. And what we're going to do instead of having 4 homes is um, we're going to replace the second home with work, the third home with about, and then the fourth home with contact. And then once you have those 4 things, you're going to hold onto the screen and highlight everything and then drag it maybe towards the middle or towards the left, towards the right, like however you want to design your personal website. Feel free to experiment with it. Yeah, Control C and Control V for Windows if you want to copy and paste. So if everyone is done with this part, just type done in the chat, just so I know I can move on. So just type like this, done if you're done. Or just type in your question if you want me to repeat something or expand on anything. All right, cool. Let's just see how everyone is doing here. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, whoever does like the best design will get a free GitHub t-shirt code. So if you're interested in that giveaway, yeah, you can feel free to give it your all. I'll just be kind of judging the designs really quick at the end and give away a t-shirt code to one lucky winner where you get anything from the GitHub shop. So okay, so now we can move on to the next step. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do now that we have the tabs, we're just going to make sure that the tabs are like equally spaced out. So what you can do is maybe you can just drag it and make sure that the numbers align so you can see it's 57 in between each. But it's really up to you, right? Like, and then you can just kind of drag it around. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to place our own image onto the actual frame itself. So you can see on the screen, like my headshot is right here. So we're going to add a headshot of yours. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the left-hand side of Figma where it says a rectangle. And now we're going to see the drop-down menu where it says ellipse. And then in this, you click the ellipse, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to click on the frame just once and let go. So don't expand anything. You don't have to drag anything yet. And it should be selected. And now what you're going to do once you have that ellipse there, it's very tiny. And in order to expand it proportionally, what you have to do is on your keyboard, just press the letter K on your keyboard. So to repeat that again, in order to expand it proportionally, you have to press the letter K on your keyboard. And then this allows you to expand it proportionally. And the reason why is because, let's just say, for example, if I were to place the ellipse here again, and then right now, like I'm on the default, which is V, it would just expand it in like any way you want and like very proportionally. So you have to make sure you're pressing K or like click K once and then expand it. Just to make sure you're on that setting, you can go to the top left of Figma and then change yours from move to scale. So scaling it allows you to increase it proportionally. So let's see how everyone's doing with that circle. If you need me to repeat anything, feel free to put in the chat. I'm just going to look at the chat again, but I'll repeat it one more time just in case anyone didn't get it. What you're going to do is you're going to go click on your like frame and you're going to go to the top left side and you're going to click on, it should be a rectangle at first, but you're going to click on the ellipse from the drop down and you're going to click on the frame once and then you're going to press the letter K on your keyboard and now expand it to whatever size you want. And you should put it like maybe on the left side if you want to put your picture there or something. So when everyone's done putting the circle there, we can move on to the next step. Let's see how everyone's doing here. Well, does anyone need me to repeat anything or we're good to go? Let's see. Yeah, it's looking really great so far. So now that we have this circle here on the frame, what we're going to do is we're going to add our picture to the circle. So in order to do this is you're going to make sure you're selecting the circle, and on the right hand side of Figma, we're going to see a section that says fill. And in that section that says fill, it should say like D9, D9, D9 as the color of your ellipse. And right next to it is a gray square that represents that color. So you're going to click on that gray square, and then you're going to click on the pop-up. You're going to see this pop-up, right? That comes up. And on the top left side of that pop-up, it should say solid. You're going to click on that solid, and here's the drop-down menu that comes up. And then in that drop-down menu, you have an image, like from the second to last bar in that drop-down. You're going to click on that, and it should reveal a checkered bar. And now all you have to do is you're going to just choose an image from your computer. I'm just going to choose this one as my headshot. So there you go. Let's see how everyone's doing with that. It's looking great. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, and feel free to let me know if you need me to repeat anything. And also, it could be like, have fun with it. It doesn't have to be like your headshot. It could be, a cartoon from like your favorite show. It could be like a movie or something, or it could be a meme. It could be anything. Like, this is your design, and like, yeah, just have fun with it and stuff. And or you can show that off like in the later parts of the design. So, all right. And when everyone is done with putting in their picture in there, feel free to type done in the chat once you're done and you want me to move on to the next steps. All right. See, someone done. And then you can type repeat if you want me to repeat this step, or if you have any specific questions, feel free to let me know. All right, cool. So it's looking great. Let's see. Just gonna wait a few more seconds. All right, we can move on to the next step. It's just going to be a quick one, and if you need me to repeat it, you can feel free to let me know. But the next step that we're going to do is we're going to add the header over here, the kind of like, hi, I'm Skyler, things like that, right next to your image. So what you're going to do is like, you already have your words here at the top, right? So all you have to do is just maybe click on one of them, maybe contact, right? And then we're going to duplicate this using Command D or Control C, Control V if you're on Windows. And then you're going to drag it over like right next to your image, right? And then you can place it wherever you want. And what you're going to do is in place of the contact, you're going to write maybe like, hi, my name is, and then whatever your name, or you could do like, hey, what's up? Like however you want to do it, make it like a fun personality type thing, like whatever you want. And then you can maybe even add emojis. If you're on a Mac, you can add emojis using Control Command Space. This will allow you to use the hand wave. You can use a hand wave emoji or whatever emoji you want to put. And then what you can do is you can actually just, all right, awesome. And then you can expand this using K on Mac or on Windows, I believe, if that works as well. And then you can expand it proportionally like this, or you can even change to the sizing on the right-hand bar by just changing the numbers like this. But for now, I'm just going to be like, hey, I'm Skyler. And then I'll just kind of expand this by pressing K so it scales proportionally. And another thing that I want to mention is like going back to the top tab bars, you can see like how they're all the same thickness. If you want to change the thickness, I'm going to, for example, change the thickness of work, about, and contact by highlighting over all three of these. And on the right-hand side where it says text, you see how it's extra bold? Um, what you can do is you can actually change that from extra bold to regular instead. So that's just to indicate that right now we're on the home page and we're not clicking on everything else. But that's optional, totally up to you, however you want to style it. And now for the next step after you've done the header, we're going to do our description underneath. So I'm going to duplicate contact again using Command D or Control C, Control V. And then we're going to drag it underneath and I'm just going to do a little description. Maybe like, let's see. I am, wait, what did I put for like this? Let's see. I am a computer science. I'm gonna just expand this like this first, so it's bigger. Student loves design, coding, and Minecraft. Like, play around with it. It doesn't have to be a formal description, or if you want, it can be if you're making this your actual personal website. And then you can use like K to expand it proportionally. So yeah, so you have your header and then you have your description. So if everyone's done with the header and the description, feel free to type done in the chat and then we can move on to the next step, which is putting the button underneath where you can do kind of like an action item. Okay, let's see. And then if anything, feel free to type repeat in the chat if you want me to repeat any step. But like, yeah, feel free to play around with it. And I'm just going to put maybe like another emoji here. Just for fun. Me who has nothing to say, so to do a presentation of anime. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, go for it. Like, whatever you feel is best and that represents you. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go into the next step, which is creating a button underneath the screen. So we're going to create a button like this, like the Let's Get in Touch button. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make sure we're clicking on the frame, and we're going to go to the top left side of Figma. And right now it should say a circle or like an ellipse, but it might be a rectangle for you. You're just gonna click on the shape tools, and in that drop down menu, you'll see rectangle on the first bar, and you're gonna click that, and then right underneath your description of your name, description in general, like you're going to hold and drag a button like this to maybe like this size or like whatever size you want, and then just kind of drag it around to the place where you want it. And now that you have that rectangle, what you're gonna do is we're basically going to style this. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to add, let's see, maybe like a fill color to this. So let's just say we want to change the color of this to, I don't know, like maybe purple. I'm gonna go to the right hand side and make sure I'm clicking that rectangle underneath. And where it says D9, 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 click the gray square, and I can change this to whatever color I want. Maybe I'll just change it to black for now. And if you want to make the corners rounded instead of like just pointy, like regular 90-degree angles, what you can do is on the right hand side where it says like X, Y, W, H, right underneath the H, you should see this like corner radius type of thing where you can essentially change the number of the corner radius and it allows you to round the corner. So I can change it to 10, I can change it to 20, I can change it to 30, like whatever you want, whatever you feel best fits like your personal branding, your website. See in the chat. She says she can't access the file anymore. Can you try reloading the file? See, can't open the file because WebGL is. Oh, I'm not really sure about WebGL. Are you currently on you're currently on a Windows? Let's see. I think it might be just your browser. So I'm not sure what browser you're using, but try to use a different browser. Like for example, if you're using Chrome, okay, then do you have a different type of browser instead of Chrome? Um, you can use if you have Firefox or if you have like another computer, potentially a Mac if possible, or if not, just kind of like reload Figma and then see how it goes. But keep me updated on that. If anyone knows like issue with the Windows, let me know in the chat. But okay, so just to kind of move on for like the button side of things, let's see. We have the button right here, and we want to add kind of like an action item to the button. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the word contact using Command D or Command C, Command V to copy and paste. And we're going to drag it right underneath the button. And you should see that it's like underneath and you can't really see it. And once you get to that place, you're going to right click and then you're going to bring it to the front. And what you can do is you can change the fill color to, let's just say, white, and now you can see the text over the button. And maybe you want to change it to like bold, and then you want to change it to like get in touch. Okay, great. Join another browser. Okay, perfect. So yeah, and now you can kind of like design the button however you want. Some other tips that you can do, you don't really have to do this, but you can add a stroke, which basically like an outline, and then change it to different colors. You can add some shadow effects like this, like a drop shadow in a sense. But yeah, that's basically it. You can do that. For me, I'm just going to fill it like this. Maybe make the fill color. Just kind of play around with it however you want. And yeah, just have fun with it. That. Okay. Yeah, and if anyone has any specific questions related to the button or anything, feel free to let me know in the chat. But right now we're going to move on to the next step, which is just changing the background color um, of the overall frame. So once you're done with creating the button, the next thing that you're going to do is maybe you can move like some of the text to see if it aligns right there. You're going to click on the frame, and now we're going to just change the background color of this. So you're going to go to the right-hand side where it says fill, and you're going to click the white square right next to the hex code. And then where it says solid, now you can change the background color to whatever you want. So you can go use the color scale and just kind of like change it to maybe like purple, pink, whatever you want. And kind of like another option is you can actually create a gradient within this. So if you click solid on the the top left side of this pop-up, what you can see is you can see this drop down and you can click linear, and linear will create a gradient for you. So on the left side of this gradient right here is like the first color, right side is the second color, but right now it's at 0, so you can increase the transparency to 100 and then start to turn it into like maybe a cotton candy type of website. Sure, I can make it like that. And then I'm going to change the color here to this. But yeah, feel free to let me know if you need help with anything on that end. This is the gradient. Just to go over the gradient again, you go to the top left side where it says solid and you go to linear, and then you can change the two colors from there. But make sure that their transparencies are 100 so that it's like completely shown. There's nothing blocking it. Okay. But yeah, once everyone's done with that, feel free to type done in the chat when you're done with like putting the background colors and everything. Okay, awesome. Okay, great. So now we're gonna go and work on just the last final step, which is maybe like the icons right here, which is the social media icons. In order to get the social media icons, what you have to do is make sure you're clicking on the frame, and then you're going to click Figma, the Figma logo on the top left-hand side, and you're gonna scroll down all the way down to where it says plugins, right? And don't click on the plugins yet, but you're gonna go to the right side, and then you should see something that says find more plugins. So Figma logo, scroll down to plugins, find more plugins, and now you click on find more plugins. And once you're done clicking the find more plugins, you're going to search up the plugin called Iconify. And so I'll type this plugin in the chat a little bit, but Iconify, and then you should be able to just run Iconify by going on the right-hand side of it and running. And once you're done with that, what you're gonna do is you have this like whole bar where you can see the Iconify um plugin, and you can type in any icon. Let's just say you want to type in like Instagram, right? And you can search the icon Instagram, click one, make sure you're on your frame, by the way. And then you're going to import the icon, and you should see the icon very tiny on the top left. And now you can kind of drag it down, and we're going to fix it a bit later, but just kind of import different icons. So you can do Instagram, you do LinkedIn, for example. I'm going to import this LinkedIn icon. We can import, let's see, like a YouTube icon. If you have a YouTube channel, you can do that. And then you can just drag those down underneath to the bottom. All right. So, and once you have that, you can feel free to like make sure to select all of those icons and then increase it to the size that you want it to be. So probably around that size. And then there you go. You have your social media icons. So let's see how everyone's doing with that. Oh, and by the way, when it comes to increasing and decreasing the size of your social media icons, make sure you're scaling it proportionally so it's not like out of proportion. So like for what I mean, for example, is if you have an Instagram thing, when you try to scale it, it might look like this. Like in order to prevent that, what you can do is you can click K on your keyboard, and that will allow you to scale it proportionally now. And in order to see that, you can go to the top left side and make sure that you're on scale instead of move. Because move is like not proportionally, and then scale is like this. So now that you have that, yeah, you're basically done. You could even create like a logo on the side. For me, I'm gonna duplicate home and just put SB on the side. And that's your, yeah, that's like your screen. That's like your home screen for your personal website, and you're pretty much done. Maybe you can add like a plugin that's called maybe like a moon plugin. Just say this one. If you want to do like dark mode, light mode, things like that. So this is the final version of everything. But yeah, I think we're pretty much good to go. And I'm not sure if I should give a few more minutes to design, but okay, I'll give you guys a few more minutes to design. And while you're just editing that, I'm going to quickly talk about future capabilities of Figma. So essentially, you have this design. Now, how do you want to turn this into code? What you can do, um, the background. Do you mean like you want me to teach you how to create a background on Figma? Like, if you're referring to that, essentially you can, oh, wait, yeah, the background looks okay. Ooh, maybe the background was converted to something else. Wait, let me just quickly create. Yeah, I think that looks good. Maybe that wasn't the original color. Maybe like this one should be good. Um, Okay, but essentially what you can do, like in general, if you want to turn this into code, you can't really directly just put this into a program and it turns into code for you. But something that is helpful is if you're clicking on this frame, right? On the left-hand side, there's this place called prototype, um, where you can like create clickable prototypes just to see like how the screens navigate and interact with each other. And you can also use the inspect tool on the right-hand side, which gives you the different codes for like the actual colors itself. So let's just say you want to use HTML and CSS to build this website. It doesn't give you the HTML codes, but it does give you the CSS codes, like if you want to create this in different colors. So let's just say you want to know the width and height of the screen and you want to know the background. It gives you the exact linear gradient, so you're all good to go, and it gives you the hex codes. Same thing for like this button, it gives you the hex codes for that, like if you want to inspect certain parts of the MacBook Pro. So yeah, that gives you chance to inspect everything. But let's see. It's looking really great so far. I'm just going to give maybe like a few more, like maybe 1 more minute to just wrap up the design, and then from there I'll decide on the winner. Or Sejal, did you want to pick instead and like just pick afterwards, like in the workshop for who the winner is? Or did you want me to pick like during the session?
Whatever works for you. I think if everyone thinks that they're done, then you can pick now. But if people want more time to work on it, then you can definitely pick later. And I'll send out an
Okay,
email
sounds
with the info.
all right. Yeah, that sounds good. So I think I might just pick in the session just so we have like the results here. But to modify a background for the question in the chat, essentially, okay, so you have to click on the frame and you're gonna see the section that says fill, and you see how it says linear right now. What you're going to do is you're going to click on that square, and or it might not even say linear for you. It might even say like a specific color, probably like 6Fs, like as the hex code. You're gonna click on the square right next to it, and it should probably say solid for you. And what you're gonna do is you can like change it to any color here using the this like square and then and this like line of different colors. And if you want, you can go to linear, and what this will do is it will like change the background into a gradient. And what you can do is you could use the top color as like your top color for the gradient, and then this bottom one for the bottom color. In order to make sure that you have a solid bottom color, make sure that the hex transparency is 100 for this. So that's how you kind of modify the background right there. Okay, great. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. I'm going to give like it's looking pretty good so far. So I'm just right now I'm going to do a little bit of outro, just kind of sending some links and everything. And then once I'm done with that, maybe like in a minute, I'll do a little bit of judging for the um final prize. But don't stress about it, like everyone did amazing, like and stuff. And I might even do like a tutorial on this if you want to learn more um on my YouTube channel. But essentially this is my social media links. I'll send them in the chat right now, so I'll type it here. So this is my YouTube channel. And then I might actually post a tutorial on there. Like, I'm just curious in the chat. So you want to discuss how? Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly just maybe do a little run through of what the other pages might look like and like how you might approach this. I might not be able to like design this exactly and like have you follow along because it might take a bit while, but um essentially like if you want to create the other pages of your website, um, you can essentially just use kind of like not necessarily a template, but the standard pages like for about is kind of like you have a picture, maybe a different picture of you, and then you have a description of you, and then like kind of different headers. Let's just see. And then if you want a work section, you have like your projects right here. So you can reveal like each screen of your projects. Like if you've done a hackathon, you could do like one screen of like your project itself, a little description, and then a link to the project. And then you can have a contact section where you can do like a contact form, stuff like that. If you reference my personal website right here, this is essentially a place where I kind of did something like outside of the main format. Basically, for this header, I have like I create YouTube videos, like my YouTube video, talked about the different products I make, and then had some testimonials, and then my newsletter. And then I have like just kind of my story here, just a little background. And then let's see, I have kind of like just my journey through YouTube right here and then my projects and then some like resources I recommend with different affiliate links. So yeah, it's really up to you how you want to create your personal website in the future. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. Um, I think I might start judging now. So do you think this is a good time to start just kind of like picking the winners? Like, is everyone good to go? Or let's see. Or do you want me to like pick later on? Like how does everyone feel like do they need a lot more time to design their website? Question, what do you use to host your site and implement your Figma design on it? Yeah, so essentially, so for my site, I just use GitHub Pages. What you can do is you can create a GitHub repo that's called your username.github.io. So I'll kind of share this right here, but I'll show you, for example, this is my GitHub account. And essentially, in my GitHub account, I have this one repository called skylerbasco.github.io. And if you create a repo that's called this, it'll automatically be able to like deploy your site using this. And let's just say skylerbasco.github.io. That leads to my personal website, but it's actually like I put a custom domain using Google Domains. So you can do that, or some other free ones that I recommend. You could use Glitch, you could use Replit. Um, you can, there's other programs like Netlify, um, and things like that if you're gonna use React. But for this one, I use like pure HTML and CSS because when I was trying to use React with it, it wasn't really working that well. So just for if you're just gonna do a static site, then all you have to do is use GitHub Pages. But for things like React, you might want to use Netlify or something that's geared towards that. But yeah, that's a really great question. And let's see if there's another and implements your Figma design on it. Okay, so for the actual code, where I coded this was through Visual Studio Code. So what I did was like I connected the code using Git, like using my terminal on Mac, and then this would allow me to create a file um on my own local repository, like on Visual Studio Code, and now I can start like coding everything using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript on Visual Studio Code, and then I just kind of like pushed all the changes to my code on, let's see, on GitHub. I actually did like a more in-depth walkthrough of like how I built my website on my YouTube channel, so I can quickly link where I did that. Okay. So I this is the video where I coded my personal website and just kind of walk through it. But I'm definitely happy to make like some tutorials in the future. Okay. Okay, so this is the link to it if you want to see like me designing my personal website and then coding it. But yeah, it looks like a lot of people are done. or maybe just like a few more. I'm just curious, in the chat, would you want to see on my YouTube channel more like tutorials like this? Like, should I create just an intro to Figma tutorial, just in general, if you want to reference or look back on it, or you want to do like an intro to HTML, CSS tutorial? Like, what do you want to see, in general? Like, if you want to like look back on it, like, do you find this type of thing helpful? Things like that for my channel, or do you want to see just more like coding challenges, like coding while eating spicy wings, or like coding while eating spicy ramen noodles, things like that. I'm just personally curious, would you like actually watch Figma tutorials? Okay, great. I would love more tutorials. Awesome. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I'll definitely um create a tutorial on like an intro to UI design on my channel next, and then I can do like another thing about like an HTML CSS tutorial. So yeah, I'll definitely do that, the process.
Yeah,
So
when
yeah, I
you
think
or when you create that video, you can definitely send it to me and I'll make sure to let everyone know as well. So
sounds great.
everyone
Thank you
here
so
can
much.
also follow that once you have that up.
All right, yeah, I really appreciate it. It'll probably be kind of similar to this workshop, but a little bit more in depth with like the UI design. So I'll definitely send that over. Um, but now I can start judging a little bit of the designs here. So I'm gonna like film this really quick. Um, just like potentially for my story, if you don't mind. Um, but yeah, so we did this intro to Figma and UI design workshop, and now we're going to see the results. So first we got Ashley. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh my God, I love that runway style. It's like a nice aesthetic. We got the pink button. Huge lover of fashion design and color theory. Okay, she popped off. Oh my gosh. Oh, she got an album in the works. Oh my God, is she a musician? Okay. And then let's see. I'm not sure if that person's still here, but we can go to the next one. Oh, so we got Sejal herself. So we got look up the logo. Yes, I love the gradients. It's looking nice. With the purple button, just on point with the branding and the gradients. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Insaya? Um,
Yeah.
Insia? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I like the whole aesthetic, and I like how aligned it is. I like how you did the really creative tabs on the left-hand side, and it's like nice green. Oh, this cute. Okay, so now we got Isabella's. Oh my gosh, this is really, how am I supposed to judge this? This is so cute. Oh, you got the boba icon, and then you got your headshot. Oh, and the whole aesthetic in the boba tea. Oh my gosh, this is great. Amazing. Oh, look at you. We got fans of skateboard. This is really nice. I love this whole aesthetic. Oh my gosh, great job, Jan. Or is it Gian? I don't know if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. But I love this. Skate with us. Yes. Oh my God, it's really difficult to decide. Like this is a these are all so good. Um, let's see. Y'all, I cannot figure this out. These are really good. Um, okay. All right, so wait, what's in the chat? Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot decide. I'm sorry. Okay, these are all so good. Um, dude, I cannot pick. Yo, let's see. Okay, everyone's is so good. Like I really appreciate all the effort in this. I'm gonna have to go with Incia's design because I really like the whole like out of the box like tab things, how you put it on the left side and like just the whole aesthetic with the frog and just how clean it is. Like I just really love this whole thing. So congrats. This is amazing. Everyone, like honestly, thank you so much for this. Like you guys did amazing and I can't wait to see like your personal websites that y'all make in the future. Um, let me know uh if you want any specific tutorials, content, like you want more like design stuff or like coding, but this is really fun and yeah, I really appreciate your design. So, Insia, if you want to drop your email address in a chat and I'll send that GitHub t-shirt code over to you. But anyways, yeah, if you have any more questions, let me know. Here's my LinkedIn. Oh, you said thank you. I'll be honest, so I don't need the merch, so you need to pick a sec. Oh, wait, that's so nice. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm gonna pick one. Let's see. I really liked Isabella. Congratulations, Isabella. If you want the t-shirt code, feel free to claim it by dropping your email in the chat. Yours is really good. Like I love the whole boba icon. So yeah, like are you sure? I only have one, sorry, right now. Um, but yeah, whoever is interested in the that's super nice. Oh my gosh, yeah, Isabel, you can feel free to type in your email in the chat. Okay, great. Awesome. So I'm going to send an email over to you tonight and with your GitHub t-shirt code. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for participating in this. I really appreciate it. Uh, go check out my YouTube channel. I'll probably be doing some more tutorials since y'all want the tutorials about like design and coding a website. Um, but yeah, thank you. And I don't know if it's possible. I know like, it might be getting late, but if possible, if anyone wants to turn on their cameras, we could do like a little group picture if y'all want, or you could put like a meme in place of your thing if you want to just put a plushie in front of your face or something. I don't know. But yes, I'm gonna be like sending this to GitHub Campus Experts program just kind of to do a report because they're the one who gave away the shirt. So yeah, thank you so much. All right, so on three, I'll take the picture. We want to do some peace signs or something like that. All right, three, two, one. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do y'all have any more questions or anything you want to say? Like, I really appreciate the feedback of like wanting to do more, see, like designs, tutorials, the process, things like that. I'll definitely create those in the future. But yeah, I think that's it. I'll type my LinkedIn in the chat if you want to connect as well. And you can feel free to plug yours as well. This is my LinkedIn, and then my Instagram is this. But yeah. All right. So Sejal, you can feel free to wrap it up. Since I
Yeah.
think I'm good.
Well, thank you so much, Skyler, for agreeing to host this event with us. This tutorial is honestly so amazing. Like, you went through it step by step, and everyone followed along so well. Like, I really enjoyed watching everyone design their own personal websites. And yeah, so if you want to like keep learning about computer science and engineering, make sure to check out Lookup's website. We have so many articles and resources on there. We have mini courses. We have a YouTube channel with recordings of previous workshops. So honestly, there's just so many resources that you can dive into. And, our team applications are also open. So if you want to join our team and help us organize these workshops, that would be super fun. And I'd love to have all of you guys on the team. So yeah, thank you so much for coming.
All right, see y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Feel free to keep in touch on LinkedIn if anything. Bye.